by you. I only have one other thing left. I gave you that last time. Like, I only got one other thing left. So I want to bring it to this. And it kind of goes full circle again. And it goes to, it's going to go into the thing you said when you took the trip out to LA, and, you know, that springboarded this and that springboarded that. So you put me on last time that we had last time we had this back and forth, this interview, you put me on to the book, Think Rich, Think Rich. Yeah, you put me onto that, Napoleon. Yeah. Admittedly, I am horrible at reading, so I am still chipping away at it, but the things I've gotten out of it, like, it's an amazing book. I do give you credit, and I do thank you for that suggestion, and whoever.
Thank you.
Hearing it now.
My therapist actually suggested that book to me.
Shout out to the therapist.
Yeah.
Because that is definitely an awesome read. And like you said, it's a piggyback on The Secret, but just the secret to the secret.
Right.
And again, whoever hasn't heard it, please pick it up, because, you know, I'm still on it. I'm horrible at reading, dude. I'm just, maybe I have ADHD or something like that, because I am just.
Everything happens in the time that it's supposed to happen. So what you've read from it right now was what you were supposed to get from it right now in this moment. And when you start applying what you got from it in this moment, as time goes on, your brain will tell you, yo, go pick that book up. You'll pick up where you left off, and you'll gain the next step to go further onto your journey.
All right, so we're going to go into that. But first, you know, before I forget, I do want to say thank you again, because after our last conversation, again, I don't bullshit, man. If I say the things, whether it's giving you your roses or whatever, it's meant truthfully. So after our last conversations and a few conversations we've had after that, you've helped elevate me as a man, as a person, financially. I'm a better person than I was after I spoke to you. So I do want to say thank you for that, because you helped me a lot with, you know, just growing in general. So I do appreciate it. Back on my artwork, you know, selling pieces of art now.
Come on, man. We used to draw every day. Every day we sat next to each other and drew.
And somewhere along the lines, man, life happens, and I never lost the love for drawing, but I put the pen down. Yes. And again, after that conversation, the last interview that we had, and just seeing you go at putting that imagination and that artistic talents to use, it made me pick the pen back up. And, you know, again, I've grown and become a better person as an individual. And again, man, I do thank you, because you're a gigantic part of that. So, going back to the book that you put me on to, every chapter has a different, I don't know what you would call it, a different step that right. You need to take in order to think and grow rich. So I pulled 3 out.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you random steps, and you tell me either a lesson that you learned from it, or just tell me anything that equates to that lesson.
Okay, how I apply that step to my life in getting this.
Exactly. Or however you want to word the step, whatever lessons you have.
All right.
Because again, man, you're at a level that, you know, people that are trying to get to that level, you know, here it is. Like, whoever's listening, here it is, man. Like, take some notes, because this is a man that's done it, still growing, still climbing that mountain, but, you know, he has shown the path. Like, follow me, you know, follow this path, make this left, make this right, and I'll see you up top. So step 1, we'll start with step 1, desire. And that's when I was equating it to you taking that plane trip out, you know, taking that plane trip to LA. And but again, what does that desire mean to you?
I mean, it's how bad do you want it? You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, within it's like your thoughts create your reality. If you wake up every day and say, damn, I ain't shit, I'm never gonna be shit, the universe doesn't understand sarcasm. So whatever you put out in the universe, that's what you're gonna get. So how bad do you want it? How bad do you want? And success is something measured internally. Only you can determine if you're successful or not. Most people would agree on most people would look at me and say, hey, you're successful. I don't look at myself as being successful because I have celebrities wearing my shoes, or I'm in magazines, or this, that, and the third. The moment I became successful was when I drew a shoe on a piece of paper. When I drew, because this was the first one. When I drew this shoe on a piece of paper and then I held it in my hand, I was successful.
Sick. That's awesome. Same thing with success and happiness. Don't let the next person tell you.
Nobody can dictate your happiness. Nobody can, you know what I'm saying? If it's something that, last night, I came across the internet. I came across something on the internet that involving my brand that it didn't sit well with me. But instead of letting it ruin the rest of my night and harping on it, I had to keep reminding myself that I'm not in control of this situation and I can't change it right now in this moment. What I can do is not do business with this person going forward. So however they choose to do what they're doing, they've made their decision. So now I have to watch this show play out from the sidelines, but going forward, never do business with this person ever again.
And everybody reaps what they sow, because he just lost a connect on some fire.
I don't think she realized what she actually lost.
She will, though. That's how that thing works out, man.
Yeah.
And go back to what you're saying, everything begets everything else. So greed will beget greed. So, if it was a greedy thing, it'll come right back to her. Going back to the whole mindset thing, if you're, and I equated this, some time ago, if you're in debt and the only thing that you're saying to yourself is, I'm never going to get out of this. I'm just going to be hammed with bills. I'm going to be in debt the rest of my life. Doesn't matter how much you want to get out of that debt. Guess what? More debt's coming back to you.
Right. Because that's what you're asking for. So it boils down to how bad do you want it? Do you want to, are you going to throw your life away and be in the street and have the fast cars, the money, the women, this, that, and the third? Or are you going to do something? How bad do you want to be out of this predicament?
Amen. Awesome. All right. So we're going to move on to my next step. And from one, I only got 3, but we're going from 1 to 2, and that's faith. Because the 3 I'm picking out is the 3 that to me has the most value. The book has
tons of them, but
has a lot of steps. But just kind of going through the ones I wanted to ask you about. These are the 3 that stood out to me. So step 2 is faith.
Faith. You got to believe. You have to believe. You have to have faith that you got to take a leap of faith. You got to trust in the process. You have to trust that if you did your due diligence and did the research, gained the knowledge, and you truly believe that this is something that you can do. The moment you think it and you can see yourself doing it, you can do it. It's possible. If you couldn't do it, you would have never had the thought. So the moment you have the thought, you have to now move on faith. But see, people, I just seen something on the internet probably like 2 or 3 days ago where it was like this meme where it was like something to deal with God, where people have faith in God and they'll be in the middle of the ocean drowning and they're like, oh God, please save me. And then a fisherman boat comes up and he's like, hey, come on, get on board. And he's like, no, God's going to save me. The fisherman boat goes off. 2 more boats come. No, God's going to save me. You drown. You go to heaven. And you like, yo, God, why didn't you save me? And he's like, yo, I sent those 3 boats. So,
yeah.
It's, you got to have faith that once I have this thought, this is for me. Now I have to put forth some type of action. I have to reach for the buoy and get on the boat.
Goes back to what we were saying, knowing and applying. It
Yeah,
goes with the faith. And please understand, faith is awesome, but when the storm comes and you're caught in it, and it's going to happen.
right.
People think you go from A to B or A to Z, and it's a straight pass straight through. They don't understand.
You're going to be tested. So with faith, right? I sat in my room. I drew the original shoe to Josephine. The first time I drew it, it was a boot. When I drew it in what it looks like today, I did that in D Block Studio. So I was in the studio just hanging out, and I was redefining the design. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna make it a sandal. Then we had the original design. Now I'm reaching out to factories, right? 7 factories told me no. I sent them the sketch. No, can't be made. Too much detail, blah, 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 blah. They kept saying no. One of the factories, I sent a different design. I'm like, so now I'm like, damn, did I, make a mistake? I'm like, send them a different design. They're like, oh, well, our designers have to redraw it. And I'm like, for what? Whatever. So I'm like, nah, I can't give up. That night before I went to sleep, I emailed 2 more factories. Those 2 factories said, yeah, we can make this. One of the factories asked a bunch of questions. One factory asked a couple of questions. Basic, like what material, what color, the heel height, this, that, and the third. And then they went on, and I didn't hear back from them. Other factory kept asking more questions. Yo, can we do this? What about this? This, that, and third. This is why you have this shoe. This shoe was because the factory kept asking me questions and then showing me different materials. So when they started showing me different materials, that shoe was kind of like, I can start seeing it in my head. I started piecing it together in my head. So I'm like, yo, you know what? Just gonna go with my gut instinct. Make that one too. Make it out of these materials too. That's why same shoe, but it looks different. They're different feathers. So I had to have, faith in that. I've never met these people. I didn't know them. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? All I knew was, here, I have this design. And I just went on faith. And it ended up working out for me. Now, the second factory, they completed the shoe probably, I think, a month after it was supposed to have been finished and delivered. I had already had those 2 shoes in my possession before I got the one shoe from the other factory that asked minimal questions. And then when I got the shoe that they sent, it looked like that shoe, but it looked like a knockoff version of my design. And it was just like, it looks like that because you guys didn't ask any questions. You guys didn't do any follow-up or this, that, and the third. And they didn't know that I was already dealing with another factory. The other factory didn't know that they was making it. So I got to really see which factory was going to be the better one to work with. And then I went with the one that I was in constant communication with.
Faith in the process, man.
Right, but that was all going out on faith.
Yeah.
I had faith and a belief that if and when I find a factory to make this shoe, they will be able to make anything that I draw.
And on top of that, going on faith, if you don't have faith in yourself, nobody's going to have the faith in you.
Right.
Came at it like, all right, businessman, like, this is what I need. Bang, bang, bang. Like, you're putting that out there like, okay, he feels something about this. Let's feel it back for him.
Right.
And you had this other one was like, yeah, let's whip it together when we can.
And then you have to, so what most people don't know about the footwear industry, unless you're the big fashion houses, Everybody else are just copying what the big fashion houses are doing. So when you have these boutique brands that have shoes and this and that, this is why their shoes look like the big fashion houses, because they're just copying their designs, changing small things. So then when you get someone like me that's a small company, and then I'm coming with new design, original designs. I'm a person in a factory that makes shoes. I want to make that. That's a challenge. Let me see if, you know what I'm saying, if my skills is up to par to make this.
And you know what? It's not a step, but just basing what you said, just be your own individual, man. Don't be the copycat.
You see, Nike just got the patent for the Jordan 1. Because so many people were remaking the Jordan 1 that now you can't remake that shoe and do whatever you want to it.
They pretty much hem that up. You have to pay for that.
Because once a shoe is made, the factory, regardless of what factory it is, they now have the blueprint to reproduce it. Any shoe.
Okay.
It's just like clothing. Everything is a pattern.
Yeah.
Cut the leather, sew it together.
It just seems like life. Everything is a pattern. But then there's always that one, you know, that one sheep that gets out of the flock and just becomes their own thing.
Yo, what's over there?
Yeah, but there's so many people that are afraid to do that. They lack the faith to step up and go, you know what? Everybody's doing all that, but I have faith that this is gonna work.
Right. Do you like? It's even with. I'm not a gambling man. I don't really gamble. I'd rather gamble on myself. I've never played the lotto, the Mega Millions, Powerball, all that. I see people getting tickets. I don't understand that game, right? Because so many people, you lose so much money, and then when you win, you're only winning the money back that you lost, and then you're gonna spend that trying to hit this big mega ball and Powerball and all this type of stuff. I'd rather bet on myself.
Yeah.
So this way, I watch guys in the hood at the dice game. I watch dudes lose 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 at a dice game. I watch somebody come to the dice game with $200 and win all of that because the way they're shaking it and they're confident in throwing that dice. It's nothing different. Y'all are all throwing the same 3 dices. But he's talking to the dice. Yeah, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 4, 5, 6 is coming up. Oh, trips. Oh, trips is coming up. You know what I'm saying? He believes, he has faith, and he's not throwing them dice like, oh, I'm gonna throw it and I'm gonna ace out. I'm gonna head crack.
Going back to what you said, what you think is gonna be what it is. So if you're nervous and you're like, oh, please don't let me hit this thing. Please don't let me hit this thing. Please don't let me hit this thing. Guess what? You're going to hit the shit out of it.
Right.
Okay. All right. So the last step, man, and it kind of all goes together. And like you said, that book kind of, every step kind of mirrors each other through the bigger picture. But this is the last step, number 8, and that's persistence.
You got to be persistent. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, so even when my shoes weren't selling, I was persistently giving you new designs. You know, I could have stopped at the first shoes, right? Could have stopped there. This is the one people liked and they loved and they were buying and all that. I could have stopped there, right? But if I stopped there, would I have been in all of these magazines with all these other shoes? No, because I wouldn't have had them. You know what I'm saying? So I had persistently keep designing, keep dropping shoes, keep building the brand, but also listening to my customers saying, okay, this is what y'all want. Okay, I'm going to give you more of this. And just, you know, I can slow down in this area because now I have enough product to where, you know, I don't know if you noticed, but my wall doesn't look the same from the last time.
I did notice that. I did peep that.
Yeah. So it constantly, it changes.
Can't be stagnant.
Right.
always got to move forward. And God bless you, man. You have always moved forward. No matter what it is, it's always an elevation. And even if I haven't seen you do this, but even if in that persistence, you end up, even if you're not elevating, you just kind of go lateral, you're still moving. You know, eventually you want to go elevate, but your steps are still your steps. As long as you're not going backwards or come to a full stop,
right,
it all means something.
Right. And that's where it goes to, like I said, I'm studying SEO right now and trying to understand that and, you know, incorporating that into my day-to-day and what I'm doing. I can't just become comfortable and say, hey, I'm in fashion magazines, I'm doing this, I don't need to do anything else. No, I can always get better and do more. There's more things for me to learn. I just was having a conversation with somebody Friday, and she, a friend of the family, she asked, you know, her daughter wanted to start a business. So she's like, all right, you're in business. What does your day-to-day look like in this, that, and third? I said, okay, when I worked for Non-West, when I worked for Fisher Footwear, when I got to work in the morning, I had to turn my computer on. I had to punch in, turn my computer on, check my emails, and do all of this type of stuff, right? How is that any different because I own the company? I own a company doesn't mean I get to just come home, lay in my bed, or sleep to whenever I want to get up and only do business whenever I want to get up. No, I get up and I go to work for Josephine Valerie. It is a brand. It is a company. I punch in, I get on my email, and I, you know what I'm saying? I do the work as if there was somebody else sitting there and I had to report to them and say, hey, this is what I did.
To put yourself in that third person, like, right. Okay, like you're answering to, you end up answering to yourself, but you have to imagine you're answering to a higher power or a boss.
If I'm not willing to get up and do this work for myself, how can I expect anybody to work for me in the future?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the whole, you know, faith. If you don't believe in yourself, who's gonna believe in you?
Right.
Nah, that's real, man. Real talk. All right, dude. Appreciate it, man.
No doubt.
Put my glass out here. I'm gonna put up to bang. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Cheers to you, sir. Thank you, as always, because you do have that schedule. You are a boss. And I have to now say international grade. So, you know, I know your time is a precious thing, doing what you're doing. So I do with all due respect, I do praise and thank you. And I have the utmost gratitude for you taking the time to just chit chat with me and helping my cause out a little bit and just kind of putting your word out there, man. So it's always appreciated.
Listen, like I told you, man, this is just a conversation with my friend. It's like we still got our desks next to each other.
Yeah, man. And now I'm back on it, man. So I'm starting giving you some artwork, man. You're gonna give me some feedback.
Let's go.
I'm gonna bust out a Ghostbusters pick for old time's sake.
I need that.
I got you, man. I got you. I'm gonna work on that. Nah, I've been doing the art thing, man. I'm gonna show you what I got, man. I'm taking.
That's what's up. I can't wait to see it, man.
I take whatever critique I can.
I'm glad you back in the art, man. It's so relaxing and calming. It takes you to a whole different place, different energy, different vibe. You escape your world, man.
It's a separation from all, like you said, all the bullshit going on. And I kind of lost that. So it's good to have that back, man. It does feel good. So I thank you. Like I said, man, you know, you're part of the reason I picked my pen up. So I do appreciate it. Before we do go, like last time, please, you have the floor. Please take it and promote, you know, everything and anything that you need.
We got the TA23 runner.
Ooh.
This is dropping soon, August. So it's a all leather sneaker. Leather inside.
Looks tight. Love the design. Like the color scheme.
Thank you.
So real quick, I mean, we're gonna get to your plugs, man. We are gonna get to your plugs, but you've made the transition into, because you've always had the women's apparel, purses, shoes, I know you jumped into hoodies real quick for the dudes, but you're making you're again just elevating everything up. So you're moving on to
men now,
yeah.
including men in the fold. You know, Josephine Valerie is not. So even when I first started the business, even the Instagram in my caption, it said, Josephine Valerie, New York fashion house based in New York, specializing in footwear and accessories for women and men. So even when I didn't have anything for men, it still said women and men.
Prepping for the future, man.
Fulfilling that part of the bio.
Just seeing ahead, man. Just seeing ahead of the game, man. Salute to you, bro.
I always wanted to do that, but being that this is all financed with my own personal money, no loans, no handouts, no. I just didn't have the money to do everything at one time.
But you saw the picture, though. You saw it. Yeah. And I mean, it goes into desire and faith and persistence, man. So
yeah, we're gonna move into to Josephine Valerie home. Crystal stemware. So we'll be drinking. Hopefully, the next time we do this interview, I'll send you a Josephine Valerie glass set, and we can drink. We'll do the interview drinking out of Josephine Valerie glasses.
I got you. We'll put the little dollar store glassware and the red cups away, man. We'll toast to that. Hell yeah!
Right.
Can't wait, man. Can't wait. God, man, much success to you, man. I amazing from when you first started to our first interview, from our first interview to now, just leaps and bounds, man. Like the sky's the limit to you, and you just keep going. So
you too, man. I see you getting better and better at the podcasting. So you know what I mean. Keep pushing.
That's it, man. Again, as long as I keep seeing you, there's no way I can stop, man. Like I just feel ashamed of myself if I did. So you're the inspiration, dude. Again, I do thank you. No bullshit. So I'm sorry I cut you off. Thank you, man. I'm sorry I cut you off. Please keep plugging away.
So yeah, we got the TA. We got the TA-23 runner. That's coming in August. We have a new Josephine coming. New color and blue leather.
I like that.
To match the blue and the feathers.
Nice. Always elevator.
Right. And this is this one has an iridescent strap. So you can see the rainbow popping in there. And then in the fall, we're gonna bring the Tammy back.
Oh, blue Tammy.
Yeah, the blue.
That's some Wonder Woman shit right there. Woo!
With the red inside. Red leather inside.
You have to give him a gold lasso to go with that, man.
Right. So we gotta we have a few things, man. It's more, but those are the two that I know I can show right now.
And where can they reach it at?
JosephineValerie.com, Instagram JosephineValerie.NY. And get in touch with us.
Definitely, man. Whoever, ladies, you see what it is. Fellas, you see what your ladies are gonna want. And plus the men's apparel coming too, but if you want to please a lady with something fly, those are just a few examples right there. Check out the website, check the Instagram out, and you'll see what it's all about there. Gray, again, man. International Gray. I do appreciate you, bro. Thank you very much, man.
All right.
Catch you on the next one. We're gonna do this again.
You know it.
All right, that's what's up, bro. Right. So for Gray Booker, Josephine Valerie, I am Paul and Pal Podcast. Thank you very much. Salute to everybody. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.